What's happening, folks? This is the Demo Team podcast. My name is Cash Spicer, and we are the only podcast that supports your addiction to Dance Gavin Dance. This week, we have Ryan again, but we also have Swim Gustavo with us.
What up?
What's up? Can y'all introduce yourselves for us?
Hi, my name is Macklin. I play guitar, and yeah.
All right.
My name is Sam. I'm a level 40 paladin. At me. And I do cleans and Swim Gustavo. And
Nice.
Before we get into it, how's your hike today, man?
Oh, dude, it's fantastic. Where did we go?
We
Let's see.
I don't know. Somewhere along the beach, where there was like a big mountain. It was like in between San Clemente and in between Laguna.
There were trees and rocks and mountains and shit. It was rad, man. It was rad.
Is that off of 101 or what?
No. Like, we went down the 55 just to PCH and just kept going until we found the spot, I think. I don't know. I didn't drive. I was just looking at the ocean.
We were just kind of there, and it was great.
But it was, we ended up walking like 4.66 miles.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
And it was like half
Not
up.
bad.
It was like about a third uphill, about a third flat, about a third downhill. So it was like lots of variety, lots of good views. It was nice and cloudy today. It was awesome.
The weather definitely helped.
I got your cardio for sure.
But yeah, that was that.
That's what's up, man. All right, let's jump into it, man. Tell us about Swim Gustavo. Give us a brief history. How'd you guys come together and all of that good stuff?
Okay, so the first two people are in this room. After the OGs here. After that, it was Joey, then our original drummer Angel, and then eventually Joey's brother Mikey. And these are people like I grew up with in my hometown, so it just felt nice to play with them again. And it felt nice having Macklin because he was something like completely new to us. And we were just like, dude, what the hell is he doing on that guitar, bro? It's like, I don't know, bro. I don't know, but I like it. And that was pretty much like the formation. Then some lineup changes, Now we have Shaka. Now we have Aldrin, which is complete game changer. But I don't know, man, like, what you got to say?
Yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. We just met, just going to shows. And, we're all quite young, so we're all still learning how to do what we do. But like, I don't know, the whole mentality of like this band is like write shit way harder that you can actually play, and then like learn how to play it. You know what I mean? So like we're all like learning how to play our own instrument and like how to find our voice. Yeah, surpass your limits for sure.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what this is.
Heck yeah, man. You're not the only one.
We're kind of like this final form with our lineup, so we're just gonna keep writing and churning and make a new album and shit. And we've been really hard at work at doing that specifically. So
yeah, and the lineup has been like all the more greater for that too, because of like how everybody works and writes and stuff. How everybody comes together and brings it in. Really nice, good chemistry. I love them boys.
Yeah. So Sam kind of mentioned like, Macklin, you're pretty awesome at guitar. So I was wondering, what are some of your influences? And Sam, please answer that question as well, because you are an awesome vocalist as well. So.
I don't know about like even being like a good guitar player. 'Cause, like, again, like, I feel like I'm still learning like all the time. But like I feel you. Thank you so much for saying that. But I'd say like, first off, it was like bands like Circus Survive and like Stolas and Fall of Troy. Like at an early age, that was just like, that's my shit. Just kind of like that aggressive but also jazzy kind of way of playing where you're really thinking about the music, really thinking about what exactly you're playing, and being able to sound like a fuller band by just being one person. So like people like Jimi Hendrix and Zappa, kind of like later in my guitar playing, really started influencing, like, I don't know, just kind of, again, kind of just like surpassing your limits. So I guess all those people, mainly right now, Omar Rodriguez Lopez from like the Mars Volta, Frank Zappa, and Yvette Young a lot. I love the way she plays. A lot of those like Midwestern emo bands and stuff like that. I kind of Midwestern.
Nice.
She's a wizard, man. I swear.
Yeah. I don't know. Always trying to listen to new shit. I've been listening to a lot of stoner metal lately, like Elder, like Nick DeSalvo. Dude, he fucking shreds. I've been really trying to kind of like learn a lot of his shit. So like this next record's gonna be nice and heavy. It's gonna be good.
Nice.
As far as like
I see that.
And it's like it's in the moment kind of like influences, because like the first album was influenced more so around like obvious Dance Gavin Dance style vocals, but then like trying to mend my own sound and not being an exact like jock of that sound. Like I don't want to be, but I do like the sounds of this. So how can I make my interpretation of that, I guess? But there were other things, like at the time I was listening to a lot of Adventure also, and getting that in.
The Boys.
Yeah, The Boys. Donovan.
Good stuff.
Donovan's lyricism, I like how he writes certain parts, so I studied that a bit. And then I even listened to like some rap to like really help me like write certain songs or rewrite certain parts that I wasn't like fond of when I first wrote the songs, because the songs were like 4 years old at this point, right?
Yeah.
The song
Coming up is almost July, huh?
Yeah. So the songs were written for like a while. We just like again didn't record them. The only one that was actually like new was Violet, and that one kind of came together when Aldrin joined the band. And Shaka, actually, yeah, I didn't even think of that. But as far as like this upcoming release, I want to say I've been listening to a lot more Delta Sleep, which is like a really good band. They're really consistent, like consistently great band. Delta Sleep, Stolus actually has been playing on my mind a bit. I want to reach like a lower tone and still some more Adventure. Like Adventure does things that it's like, oh, okay, maybe I should like layer parts out this way. They're just a really good band to do that with. Also been listening to I Met a Yeti, which
great,
wonderful fucking band.
Awesome,
dude. Yes, Daisy's a great vocalist for sure.
And then Nirvana has been coming back into my like palette. I mean, it's never really like leaves, but this time it's coming into my like my influence palette on like Swim, which is like a first for me. So I never like pull that in yet. I haven't pulled it in yet. But that's been as of now, you know. It could change like next week, depending on like what I want to try to write for a part, and if I end up liking it longer than that like time.
That's what's
Hell
up.
yeah.
I think earlier you mentioned that you guys met going to shows. So like what bands did you guys used to go see back in the day?
Stolas.
Yeah.
Stolas was the one band where we would consistently see each other.
Every time in the pit, it's like, what's up, man? Like,
Y'all are lucky for that one. Nice.
Yeah.
The album Turn Tour is like when the first idea came about
Right.
with Gustavo.
And it was all on Aldrin.
It was
too.
actually Aldrin who didn't even join the band until 3 years later.
Right.
It was Aldrin who put us together.
He was like, hey, you play guitar and you sing. Why don't you guys just make a band? Oh yeah, huh? Okay. Met up on the 4th of July, you know.
4th of July.
We literally wrote like a part of Medical that day. And that's crazy. Like, crazy to think on the first day we actually met together, we wrote a part of Medical. And you wrote the hook right out the back. Good shit, man. Memories. Got me looking back and shit.
Memories.
Yeah, Are you guys from the OC, like Orange County, or where are you guys from?
So I'm an LA native or LA County native, however you want to look at it. LA is LA to me.
I was born in Orange County, but I was raised in Lexington, Kentucky, actually, for like 10 years of my life. So from like 6 to 16, I lived in Kentucky and then moved back and finished high school and then became a musician.
Yeah, because obviously, like, a bunch of bands came out of that area. So, like, who else were you guys seeing besides Stolas?
I mean, as of like the past couple of years, like we just saw Elephant Gym. I think that was like our most recent concert that we saw together.
Yeah.
Elephant Gym's a band from they're from Taiwan, actually.
Yeah, they're great, super math rocky, technical.
Yeah. We
Great
saw
band.
them live in LA. Was at the Roxy.
Yeah.
That was super tight.
That was really tight. I saw Mario from Sean.
Yeah, Mario was cool. We love Sean. DGD. I think we've seen them like once or twice together. I think only once, maybe at Chain Fest.
Yeah.
But
every time I see them, it's like.
I mean, the last time I saw Sam and Mac at a show, I know I've mentioned I went and saw The Fall of Troy, and the number 12 Looks Like You. I ran into Macklin and Sam here in the pit as they, were just flailing about, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yo, that was the same week, wasn't it?
What?
It was the Elephant Gym show. Because it felt like, we went to one and then we went to the other within like the same span of time.
December 12th was The Fall of Troy.
That's such a great time. We got into that show for free and everything. Shane got us in because he borrowed my amp head.
Shout out to Shane. Shout out to Shane Gann.
Shane Gann. Hella Sun's also great. I think we've seen it many times together.
Yeah, that was definitely another one of those.
Hella Sun. Love those guys.
That guy just becomes more and more lovable, I swear.
Every day is another moment to love him.
Yes. It's actually funny that y'all mention Adventurer and like their sailing highs and all that. I'm sure y'all are familiar with the band like From First to Last. If anything, more recently getting into them myself, I kind of noticed is it just me or does Adventurer kind of seem to take a little inspiration from the vocals in that band?
I wouldn't be able to tell you.
Maybe like passively, because I know they don't like. I couldn't speak for them, but I don't think they listen to it. They listen to like a lot of like Armor for Sleep and shit like that. Like that's like their heavy ass influence is Armor for Sleep.
I used to be super heavy into that band. Was it Dream to Make Believe and What to Do When You're Dead? Those were like life-changing albums for me.
Hell yeah.
Can we talk about El Mar Mi Amor for a little bit?
Yeah, man, let's do it.
All right, so there's, like we mentioned, there's amazing guitar throughout, like that whole album. Like your guys' the vocals are on point. I'm wondering, what was your favorite song that like you guys ever put together? Like, is there one that I don't know? You guys were in the studio and you're like, holy shit, man! I can't believe that we were that. And also, do you guys have a favorite song to play live? And it could, it could be the same song for both questions.
Yeah. That's a toughie.
So I think in the studio when we were like in there, 23 was coming out really nice, and I think we were all super proud of how that one came out.
Yeah.
Also, that song is just really important. Maybe except for Shaka.
I don't know, man. Shaka's been 23 before, I think.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm an old man.
He's an old man. Let's see. For me, I'd say in studio, like as far as like hearing it, it'd probably either be 23 or
in post-production when Pilot came out.
Shit, or even like when we first dropped it, it was actually like Lips for me. I was really happy with that song.
I think I don't know how that song came out.
And then now it's either 23 or Live Like Crustaceans.
But playing live.
Playing live though is a completely.
I wish you guys could hear these new songs.
Yeah, I was gonna say like.
Trust me, we're wishing the same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Elmar Mi Amor. It's definitely got to be between Violet for me, just because of like how the parts change and how much there is going on in the song, and it is like an energy, a burst of like energy getting through that song. But it's like when you get through the song, Violet.
Yeah.
When you get through the song, like it's just like wow, that felt so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like right from the get-go, you have like the dual screaming, and it's definitely a great song, and I can see people just super getting into it like at like a live show.
If you don't mind me asking, when do you think your new stuff's gonna come out?
Well, I don't have like an exact answer, just because money, pandemic, yada yada yada. But like
writing way more, and you think like, oh, we want to do this many. Now let's go bigger.
Yeah. Especially because like, I don't know, looking back, we just have such a higher standard of quality right now. So we're just trying to shoot from the fucking stars at this point.
Right.
We're just trying to make these next like bunch of songs just sound fucking like.
You want them to slap.
You know what I mean? Like.
So we don't want to cap ourselves with a deadline we know we can't meet. We want to take our time with it, but at the same time we are actively trying to work on it.
We're basically treating LP2 like a Kojima game.
Yeah.
Alright, well that's fair.
Like we still want to do videos for the old songs too.
Like Mountain
but like
on that front cover.
But like we definitely want to do like all videos for this kind of thing. Like yeah, dude, it's just we want to go bigger about it. So far, I mean, can we give a number of
tracks?
Yeah.
Well, we don't even know.
Well, I meant like where we're at.
Oh yeah, we got 5 written.
Yeah. And like
That's just tight.
almost all of them have vocals. Two of them just need vocals right now. But yeah, we're 5 in deep, and they're all like tonally heavier, but at the same time, there's still some familiarization in other parts of tracks.
If you like Violet, you'll like everything else.
Yeah.
Shoot, looking forward to it, man.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
same here.
Speaking of vocals, so during Rainbow Road, you break into a little rap session, kind of like the bridge outro. Did that kind of come organically, or is that something that you had like pre-planned on doing?
To be honest, I thought it was gonna be really cheesy, and I was like, I don't know if I want to do it. And the guy talked me into it. It was a song that I had written, but I didn't want to finish.
Is that still on SoundCloud?
No, but I do have it. I can actually send it to you guys. But
that'd be dope, because I actually really dig that verse, and like I don't know, I kind of really, it almost creates like a whole different scene within the song.
Yeah.
And I really dug that.
Shit, you want to know? Well, thank you first off. I don't want to just like completely disregard what you said. Thank you so much.
Yeah, nice dynamic change.
The crazy thing is, like, most of that song is written by Macklin. Like,
except for the bars.
Except for the rap part and the into the rap part. That's the only part of that song like I actually wrote. And the rap song was again something else, but like it was interesting for me. I would actually like to have you do that again. You know, like I don't mind it. I always want you to sing, man.
Basically, our writing process is I'll write a whole song on guitar and just send everybody the track, and then their own parts on top of that.
Right. Or two later, we'll get together and be like, all right, let's just noodle.
That I was actually going to ask y'all about your writing process. I mean, if y'all want to just answer, do y'all have any other parts of it? That's basically it. Do y'all have anything else to elaborate on it? But
me and Aldrin just recently started being like, hey, let's actually sit down and like talk out a song. Cause
all right.
Elmar, me, and more, we didn't have we had most of it written out, and like vocally, I had a lot of parts written out, including screams.
Yeah, Aldrin came on like right before we started recording that record.
and then he just like filled an entire section of songs. Like any part, I was just like, hey man, look, this is what I wrote, but if you want, like, change it up. If you got something better, please put it there. Don't give a fuck what you do, just do it. And he did it. He went hard. He was like, what's this song about? Okay, cool. Da-da-da-da-da. Done. What's this song about? Okay, cool. And I'd read through it, and I'm just like, dude, what the fuck? So this is the first time we actually kind of get to sit down and like talk it out.
Going back to an earlier question, Live Like Crustaceans is so fucking dope because of Aldrin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he fucking makes that track, bro. Like, love that.
Hands down.
That's what's up. So I believe it's next week. You guys are going to be doing a live stream. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I work at a cool ass store in Tustin, California, called Jim's Music Center. It's basically a independent music store. We sell guitars, all that kind of stuff. But they're allowing me and us to do a performance, because we've done performances in store before. It's been really cool. I think like twice, maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
And we used to practice there like late at night and stuff like that. Like, absolutely love that store. I've been working there for a couple of years.
It was good.
But yeah, they're letting us do a live stream on the 12th. I believe that's going to be a Sunday when the store is closed. It's going to be like 7 o'clock on IG, I believe, and YouTube. It's going to be absolutely cool.
So tune in.
Yeah, we're going to tune in on this.
Hell yeah, everybody make sure you tune in, check that out. I'm looking forward to it.
It'll be dope.
That's 9 and 10 for us, David.
It'll be like the same, you know. You can mosh pit with your people at home, you know. You know.
You know what? I'll skip Steve Ferret. Yes.
Yeah.
Y'all got me.
No hardcore dancing in the living room.
Faith, that's the perfect time when I usually do it.
This is gonna be
one of my favorite songs.
This is gonna be the greatest workout video of your life.
Do you guys have any other questions? David, Cash, Ryan?
I have some. Do y'all want to go first, or should I go?
Go for it, man.
Check it.
All right. So we already got the songwriting one out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Let me pull up my stuff. I guess my question was, is there like a certain sound y'all were aiming for, or did it just kind of like happen?
Kind of just happened.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I
Right.
felt like the songs are very diverse in genre, like all across the board. Like when you compare like Death by Miscommunication to like The Lips of Teeth, you know what I mean?
It's just like what, like these songs are like.
But at the same time, like we still have our own voice, which I really appreciate. So like, I don't know. I never kind of like. I just write cool riffs and kind of like hope that it sounds good on stage, and that kind of like. I don't know. I just want to be able to like play cool shit on guitar and like make a good sounding song, and like not really give a fuck about song structure or whatever.
I feel you.
So like, yeah, it's just kind of like the product of fucking around, dude. All the genre influences that we have, from like R&B to like post-hardcore to fucking prog rock to.
Just
I call this a prog rock band at this point. Like, I don't really call us post-hardcore at all. And like.
Right. Like again, the only thing that I guess you could say that really makes us that now would just be the fact that we have a screamer.
Yeah.
And it's like even that, like I still don't feel like it labels us as just that. Especially seeing how we're trying to write the next pieces. It just seems like I don't know how to bound us to a genre, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
As we're used
I mean, it's just
I
such an
agree
interesting
100%
sound.
too, man. Like, you know, why put yourself in a box?
Exactly.
Like, you want to give yourselves like more freedom to kind of write.
Yeah.
You know, cool
It's a
shit.
hindrance.
It's just
a
like
hindrance.
it's fucking just like, I don't know. It's my fucking brain, man. I can't focus.
I mean, like, I really vibe with your sound, so I was kind of like trying to pick your brain about it and see what y'all kind of thought about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
it's like when the way he writes guitar and the way I hear it in my head, bro, it's like he's writing something that just keeps you at the edge of your seat. And you're like, well, like what's happening? And it's just like, Well, what's happening next?
Yeah, I like suspense and shit. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
And then when you do calm down, it's just like, damn, take it all in, and then go right back to it. Like, it's gnarly, man. I'm glad to be in a band writing with these motherfuckers, right? Put these motherfuckers right in, man. I'll be right back. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no.
It's all right.
Leave me alone.
Wow. Well, my next question is probably going to be more directed towards him because it's about the vocals. So I guess we'll have to wait.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can answer for it.
I can keep Macklin busy. Macklin.
I mean, real quick though, it's like the way he described it. It's like it sounds like the songwriting kind of keeps you in suspense, on your toes, waiting. It sounds really exciting.
It's like
Thanks, dude.
it's escalation. The soundtrack.
Yeah, I like soundtracks a lot. So like soundscapes and shit.
Yeah.
I like to think of like landscape stuff when I write. Like riffs kind of take me to like a certain atmosphere.
It's almost like doing a psychedelic, but just hearing music. It's just music. Like it takes legitimately at times, like when I break down on the floor and shit at shows, that's not just me doing that because you guys are like, it looks crazy. It's like, nah, man, I'm going to that place.
Dude, that is so true because I have seen Sam grab a giant cymbal and like bash his own face in. I think
you too.
That's heavy on the head, dude.
As someone who has seen Swim Gustavo firsthand with your own eyes, it is a sight to see because there is no band in the world that puts as much passion, as much energy, and as much like thriving hunger into their set. And while I'm sure there's like examples you could point and be like, well, they're kind of like that. Like, no, you don't realize like everyone in this band moves.
Where Circus Revive, like those are like the two bands that like I've really like.
I've seen your drummer like jump out of his seat like mid like drum roll. Like it's like you guys are awesome live, and like it sucks that COVID's happening right now because like you guys definitely have an energy that needs to be witnessed to appreciate it fully. And I think when you guys added Von Aldrin to the set, like it totally like turned that shit up to 11. It's just funny seeing you guys. It like people don't realize but I've seen like Sam and Von Aldrin have like borderline like professional wrestling matches on stage. Like it's amazing.
Yeah, we have to we have to plan that out a lot better this time.
See, I gotta say though, that's exactly what Ryan said. It's that energy. That's what rock does, man. It's that rock energy, and that's why it's like, and like as a genre, it's like unparalleled to like something like pop or rap,
Yeah.
I don't know, man. Some rap artists get crazy on stage.
Oh, but yeah, rap can have their own form of breakdowns. Like I definitely get that, but like rock, man. Who's gonna say?
I don't know. I got pretty crazy with some classical music every now and
then. It hits different in every field, bro. It's like I get you, man.
Jazz, man.
Jazz, man. Get that.
I always said that the one thing that Beethoven was missing was blast beats and double pedal.
Yeah.
I mean, you say that, but Beethoven's influenced a quarter of a millennium of music directly.
Yeah.
How many people have died to Beethoven is the real question.
Well, I mean, they had the diseases were a lot more deadlier back then. They didn't have vaccines, so.
All right, let's bring it in. So you guys are pretty heavy into video games. At least that's what it seems. Do you guys have a favorite video game soundtrack?
Ooh, that's a great question.
As of late, Final Fantasy VII's been hitting really hard.
I mean, we've been listening to Final Fantasy VII.
I can't get Hollow Skies out of my head.
Bloodborne's got a great soundtrack.
I like Far Cry 3's. It's pretty good. Metal Gears have fucking wonderful soundtracks.
Super Mario Sunshine.
It's hard to pick one, obviously.
All those were good. Are you guys playing anything recently? Are you doing The Last of Us, or
So I
what are you
have
playing?
been playing The Last of Us, and even that has a wonderful soundtrack. I didn't even think about that. There is like a great version of Take on Me on there that Ellie and it's so beautiful.
Don't say.
It's so beautiful.
I just beat Final Fantasy VII, the remake. That was cool.
Proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Oh man.
All right, Ryan, do you have any questions?
I mean, I could sit here and ask questions all day. Like, number one, how dare you? I'm just kidding. I have a question. I saw you guys play back at the Slide Bar, and you did like this little intricate little introduction to your set. Would that have been one of those songs that you guys are working on?
Oh, is that the day you told me to pick the set and it was random as fuck?
I think that was the one where like.
I don't remember what you're talking about, Ryan.
I think it was when I was
terrible.
Let's play I forgot if it was Sunburn or something else. It was one of the newer songs.
I definitely heard.
Kind of like Tappy. Was it like?
Yes, and it was kind of like
Yeah.
borderline brutal, but it was like a lot more like progressive.
Yeah, and we led into another song.
Is it like?
Yes, 100%. It was that. It was that shit. I remember.
Yeah, that's yeah.
I appreciate that.
Wow. That was the first time we've had someone play music for us on here.
Oh yeah, I have this little fucking. Okay,
Thank you, good sir. Can I have another?
It's a little Katana Mini. I got like amps all the fuck over my house. Like, I actually have like 6 amplifiers in my house.
I'm
Like,
staring at two.
my Marshall's in my corner. My Katana's right here. There's a bass amp right here. My fucking Black Stars are downstairs. Like it's crazy. But
I mean,
this thing is super sweet. I just kind of have it for my bed so I can.
I have a question. I have a question on that note. Do they go to 11?
These don't have numbers on them, so sure. I could mark that right there.
Just I had to sneak in a Spinal Tap reference.
This thing's pretty fucking loud, man. Like.
Tonight we're gonna rock it. Now we're gonna rock it.
Give them one more. Give them one more thing.
Just 2 seconds.
Oof.
We can't have pornography on
That
there.
was tasty.
We can't have pornography on this, guys. Come on.
Just a little bit longer. No.
Show them that ankle real quick.
Good stuff.
So-
Appreciate it, man.
We actually have a couple of questions from our listeners, if you don't mind me asking. So I don't know. I think you know her. I think you guys are homies. But Taylin asked, "What vocalist would you want to feature on? I don't know, one of your songs? If it could be any vocalist. And also, what weird food combinations are you guys eating currently or have been eating lately?"
Weird food combinations. That's the harder question.
Dude, I've been doing this since like day one, but like hot Cheetos with like a glass of chocolate milk.
Jesus.
You got some weird shit going.
It's just like it washes out the heat so nicely, and like it just makes that chocolate pop.
Interesting.
I guess eating Pop-Tarts for cereal, but I don't feel like that's weird.
Do you want me to give you an example to help you?
Yeah, sure.
All right. My go-to is a hot dog with sriracha on it.
Okay.
That's
Yeah,
pretty
you got anything
normal
like that?
now.
So you kind of
Is it?
Yeah.
I felt so smart when I started doing it.
They have like all these like food trucks that do crazy hot dogs with like
Oh, that's like West Coast.
a bunch of different ingredients and stuff.
That,
Dude, hot dog
yeah, that I can totally see that happening in California.
That's good for me, man. I can't do mustard. Mustard fucking.
See, and you'll never truly have.
Oh, I love mustard.
It's not my shirt.
Ketchup's overrated though.
To answer the other question, because I really can't think of weird food that I do, because everything I eat, I'm just kind of like food. But like, if it could be any vocalist, I mean, I know who we already want, you know.
Yeah, we have someone kind of in the works, so I won't spoil that.
Yeah, I'd rather not say on the sheer fact that we actually have a plan here.
Damn.
That's cool, man.
There we go. I appreciate the respecting of the decision.
Do you have a second?
We understand.
Yeah. Anyone else or?
A small question. So I know you mentioned Super Mario Sunshine. Yeah, Mario series has a lot of good music, but like, I gotta ask, how about like, have you played any Sonic games or any Sonic soundtracks that might have?
Sonic is the best. Yeah.
Sonic
Yes.
I love, but just a few of them. I only love the two Sonic Adventure games, like Sonic Adventure 1 and then Sonic Adventure 2.
Just rocking stuff in there. Yes.
2 specifically for the Chow Garden, like insane, but also like the story for that was dope. And then like Sonic Heroes growing up, that was just my shit for some reason. I got a weird.
I remember that one.
My heart for that.
I think haven't played Sonic 2006. That's the one.
Oh lordy.
I still haven't played it. I thought about it one day and I was like,
trash ass game, bro.
when I worked at the game store, I was like, I could just borrow this and like play it.
My guy, you're better off. Sorry, but I just want to say, my guy, you're better off with Adventure 1 and 2. Yeah, just you're better off with those.
Right.
I mean, if we're talking about Sonic soundtracks, don't anybody ever dare forget Sonic R, which had like the best dance soundtrack ever.
Just epic Sonic with what's that one map? Is it Marble Zone? I think it's Marble Zone.
That's
like that shit is so good.
But yeah, no, personally, like I feel like everybody's sleeping on Sonic Unleashed. It's probably
it was a banger. You know, it was slept on.
That's the Sonic Crash Bandicoot crossover, right?
Basically. Oh, basically.
It was a little weird, but
Yeah.
I thought it was fun.
I remember playing the demo and just being like, huh, all right. And it wasn't like terrible, but it was just like, I mean, all right. You did it, cool. What now?
Rats.
I did get Sonic Mania. It was only like $10 when I signed it.
Yeah.
Dude, I did the same shit. I think I got it for free on PlayStation Plus.
Hey, well, I'm glad to hear that y'all are fans. But like, well, shoot, like, what do y'all think of like what is it, Bowling for Soup's track they had in the game? Endless Possibilities.
Wait, say that again.
Which one's that?
In Sonic Unleashed, the band, I believe it's Bowling for Soup. If it's not them,
That is a hard.
I don't know about that track, but Stacy's mom killed it, dude.
Wait, that's not Bowling for Soup though.
or no, yeah, it's either Bowling.
That's Fountains of Wayne, I think, right?
R.I.P. to the vocalist, man.
Was it Fountains of Wayne?
Yes,
Just
it
took a
was
start.
Fountains of Wayne that did Stacy's mom.
They're like the same kind of.
No way.
1985 and Stacy's mom, sort of ish.
Nah, they're different enough in vocals.
What's the song? I bet if I just
We're gonna find this out, y'all.
I bet if I just
Similar. It's not only like they're the same. I mean, like they have similar lyrical content. I would say, sort of.
I feel
Sure.
like Stacy's mom was like the only song that Fountains of Wayne had that like that, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, and then Bowling for Soup had the Phineas and Ferb theme song, which I made a tweet on our account about the other day.
That sounds a bop too. Give it up to these
Fuck
guys.
you. Stacy's Mom is totally by Bowling for Soup.
Yeah,
Is it?
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, wait, I didn't want to like.
Stacy's mom? What?
No, dude, Stacy's Mom is by Fountains
I'm pretty sure it's
of
Fountains of
Wayne.
Wayne.
This dude just Googled it, and you're telling him he's wrong. What the fuck?
Dude, but these are how old guys.
I'm looking it up.
It says
Hey, that
Stacy.
is the one song by them I know.
It's Fountains of Wayne is the first
Yeah,
thing that comes up.
Bowling for Soup covered it. Like, look deeper
Did
into
they?
it. Yeah, it's a cover.
Makes a lot of sense that they covered it.
Man, we all know Bowling for Soup, though.
Hey, yeah, PSA.
Oh, Bowling for Soup from Dallas.
Yes.
I believe.
PSA, y'all. Bowling for Soup. Check out Endless Possibilities, Stacy's Mom, and Phineas and Ferb sound theme track, man. They're all bangers.
Yes, this is the only podcast supporting your addiction of Bowling for Soup.
Dude, if this becomes a Bowling for Soup podcast, I'm quitting.
Don't you
How
dare.
did Bowling for Soup not end up on a Shrek soundtrack?
I feel like I'm the only person that doesn't like Bowling for Soup.
Oh,
They're kind of annoying, but I don't know.
I'm in.
I don't know.
You kind of have to like them though.
That
No.
song, they did a decent song about Alexa Bliss, a WWE wrestler, recently. But I feel like this is totally derailing from the fact that we have Swim Gustavo on our podcast.
Man, this is going further into the Matrix. What are you doing?
We took that red pill, man. We're never coming back.
You are never gonna come back, bro.
Do you guys remember
We ate that
the
stew.
last show that you guys played before this whole pandemic happened?
I'm sorry.
Who'd you guys play with last before this whole like pandemic happened?
We did a house,
Adventure.
we did a house show with Adventure in
And
like
Farewell.
February. Yeah, Farewell, and then in the background,
That's right. I
our
missed the
4
part of the
cats,
performance.
3 cats.
I was so mad. I missed the Adventure post that day.
Yeah, Adventure is like our secret lovers.
Yeah, I met them as well. Saw them in concert. They're dope dudes.
They're such cool people.
They're them boys.
They
man.
they basically like slept the whole week at Shaka's house that
Yeah.
whole week that they were recording here. That was so cool.
It was kind of like, we could throw a show, and they were like, we're looking for a show, and it was just like, all right, let's just do it.
Yeah.
See, actually, it's funny. So like when I first got in the DGD,
Mhm.
like when I first heard Tillian's voice, still like Stephen Christie's face is who I would have thought Tillian would have looked like. And then when I saw Stephen himself, I was like, wait, what? Who's this guy? What? Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Anybody else maybe? Like,
Talented, they're talented, that's for sure.
Okay, Steven's like yell into high pitch is just the most beautiful sounding like scream
Dude,
of
I
a
don't know
scream that
how
I've
he
ever
sings
heard.
that high,
I
dude.
don't
It's
know.
fucking insane.
It's just like.
He's just
oh, no
crazy.
kidding. Yeah, especially on their second album.
Yeah,
Yeah, really.
Dude.
really.
Dude's got a banshee inside of him, man.
He definitely, or a wraith or something.
Yeah, man. He got to feed that thing like the blood of the innocents every so often.
No, he's like pulling from that Fall of Troy, like because some of their screams are pretty raw, and
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
too. Jeez, I love it.
They're like an evolution of that into his like vocals. I can definitely hear that. They sound very raw indeed and crunchy.
Deep fried Dorito.
That's what we need. Good
So
stuff.
I
With
since we
chocolate
were
milk.
since we were on that Sonic thing, I meant to that was going to segue perfectly into me asking about Sad Boy Sam and his Green Hill Zone.
Oh my.
Well,
Well,
tell us how Sad Boy Sam came about.
Yeah, I'm out of the loop.
Band was on hiatus for a bit. I didn't know how to play instruments of my own, like that well enough to be like one man band some shit real quick. But I wanted to like do something music and try something. So I was just like, I can try rap. Why not? Why not? I was sad as fuck. Why not? I had some shit to say.
There's SoundCloud. Why not?
Then that happened. Did it a few more times. Stayed up a couple nights. Recorded some some really crappy songs on a blue mic, but I've come to love those songs because they're my origin story. So yeah.
It's a process, man.
But it's pretty much happened from that. It's just nice to see it actually go full circle and kind of like give into like the beast that is Swing Gustavo too. Like you said, taking the part in Rainbow Road, again, that wasn't even like my thought. Like that was him and Chaka saying, "Hey, you should do this," and then Aldrin heard it and was like, "Yeah, you should do this," and then Joy was just like, "Yeah, fool, you should do that." So it was just like, okay, it went nice and full circle. Yeah, that's all I came to be.
Nice.
Nice.
I actually had another question kind of off of that, and it was like, are you all going to do any more rap verses in any of your future songs?
You'd like to know that, wouldn't you?
I would. I'm sure lots of people would like to know.
I'm going to say right now, no.
No?
That way, when it
Damn.
happens, it'll be a surprise.
All right.
Nah, it's not even that. I grow tired. I grow tired of it just a tad. Like, it was nice to bring it in there, but then, like, it makes me feel like I'm forcing myself to do it, so no.
That makes sense. That's respectable.
Point.
It's all
Hey, you
good,
gotta do what
bro.
you like, man.
But we got Sad Boy Sam for that now. Like,
Yeah.
kind of fill that void.
But let's not like tap dance around that. There's another solo project in this room, and I don't know if y'all know about Super Saiyan Macklin, but
The legend is real.
there's a solo project over here with Macklin. Macklin, do you care to shed some light on that?
No.
No. There's some fire tracks out there with your name on them, boy.
That's
Lips closed now, huh?
Mr.
yeah.
You don't love me.
Yeah, okay, that song is pretty good. I like that one a lot.
By the
I
way,
don't know.
Play Ulster, this mofo right here, I'm like pointing every other way, but to him, this mofo right here.
Play Ulster's a great track.
He is throwing it down.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I'll come out with something at some point. Don't worry about it.
Fine, I won't.
Trust me, dudes. I've been prodding the same way, man. I want to hear Super Saiyan Macklin just as much as you guys do.
I got songs written. I'm just trying to like make them sound good.
I'm just trying to make it sound.
And it's probably not gonna be like rap music. It's probably just gonna be like a mixed bag, just like Swim is, but a little different, a little cleaner.
I get you. That's respectable, dude. If you ever need help with it, I will just sit in a corner and just like praise you all day.
Maybe what I need.
I just need someone to see I'm a god. Christ.
Hey, to kind of go back to Sad Boy Sam, did you decide what music video you're gonna do next, or like for what song?
All of them.
All of them. So
The whole shit. Yeah, I've been sitting down, drawing things out, like actually like drawing things out and just like planning and kind of thinking about like, because clearly the album tells its story, and then thinking about like how I want to tell like either an alternate story or a story that, just visually explains what's going on. But I feel like that'd be too simp. So I've been really planning on like, it'd be too simp to just be like, oh, this is what it is, but just visually it's like, no. I like to fuck with people's like mind on that kind of level. I like to fuck with my own mind on that kind of level. I like when shit like makes me have to think, and when people start adding their own like, well, this means this, and it's just like, no, but good try. Like, I love that shit. So,
I grabbed this one.
oh, sorry about that. I really want to put something together that's more grand than putting out singular videos. So I'm gonna do them all.
that's cool, man. Like I know that when we've talked, you said that you we're kind of new to rap, and the fact that you are somewhat new, but like Bleach is an amazing project. It like reminds me of like the underground hip hop that I really got into. Like I don't know, after I grew tired of pop punk and post hardcore, like I gravitated into what people call backpack hip hop. It's like the underground stuff, and it kind of like revived my love for that stuff.
I feel that.
Shit, man.
Thank you so much, my dude. Like, for even like taking the time to listen to me, like for what you just said. Again, new to this shit, and I'm learning every day through what I make and through what like what other people like tell me they're hearing. It's a lot.
You're still trash.
I'm still trash, bro.
You're still trash.
Actually, you know what? I actually did do some leveling up. I am no longer basura. I am officially Kuro. I am the shadow that revolves around the man.
You tell me for my victory.
That's what's up.
No, because it represents
How Gustavo you are.
it represents how trash you are. No, but
Y'all got any more questions? Cash, David, Ryan?
I got one more. Do y'all have anything else, or should I just go?
I'm good
Go for it.
personally. So you.
All right. This is about the vocals. So they're very rich. Like there's a lot of stuff going on there, and I was kind of wondering if you could like kind of elaborate on some of that, like what's your inspirations, things like that, or like how you like thought of it and things like that, because they are really cool. I think there's a lot of stuff going on. You got screams. Seems like screams, harmonizations. You had rap on a song. So
it took the 3 years that those songs have been written. It took just as much time to like figure out what I wanted to do with it. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
For sure.
All that kind of shit.
Like I sang the way Lips was when it first started was 4 completely different songs.
Oh yeah, the lip sync tape has been rewritten. Fucking like the intro has always been the same up until we get to like that psychedelic part. That psychedelic part like was the most recent addition. Like it used to be like I don't know. I think there's like a video on YouTube of like the first rendition, but there's been like 2 others in between that we used to play. But crazy shit.
Yeah, so it's like I never necessarily had down how I wanted to sing. I just like I knew what I wanted it to sound like by just listening to vocalists that I like and being like, how do I do what they do but like this? And that's kind of just how that happened. I also just learned from people that I like to see, like even the homie bands and stuff have kind of been like very influential. Believe it or not, instrumental bands are actually more influential to me at times, which is really gnarly of a concept. Like hearing the dudes from Biomes play, and it's just like, this makes me feel like I'd be singing this. So I just have that same kind of philosophy with Swim, you know?
yeah. And it's all you singing, right? There's like,
Huh?
Are you doing all the singing parts too? All the vocal
Mac
parts?
is actually backing on some. There's also some from the engineer we went with. He does like some of the woes on Death by, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Mac does some parts.
Yeah, I mainly just do like harmonies and I do like the lead line on Rainbow and the chorus.
Okay.
And for all
then,
the
like,
harmonies, it's like
additional screams.
Yeah, for all the harmonies, it's like me and him combined, like with multiple takes. For my parts, obviously, it's just me. For screams, it's like him and Aldrin, and then there's even like there's like 3 spots where I actually scream. There's one like hidden like line that's kind of like buried under and live like that I kind of like, and I scream it live sometimes, but like, yeah.
All right, well, awesome. I mean, I really love like the harmonization and stuff on it. So it was cool hearing about it. But I think we're out of questions, right? Anyone else have anything or?
I got the last question. So we usually create a playlist to go along with each episode. It kind of combined of what we've like recently been listening to as far as like new artists and also going back into like older stuff. Is there anything you guys would want to add? Like, what have you guys been listening to recently?
Oh man, I got some good shit.
Go first.
Lore by Elder. Am I just giving you like songs?
Yeah, that either one. You can name an artist, but if you have a specific song in mind, that's great.
Okay, well, I mean, Elder is just a great band in general. You should add everything that they have. But Lore specifically would be a great introduction to that. Vasudeva. The song 3, but it's just spelled I, like Roman numerals, right? All their stuff is great, but that's a great starter. Fucking Elephant Gym. The song Frog.
Good choice.
Yeah.
For me, I'd say add these 3 songs on a list right after each other. So it'd be, which is going to be hard because one of them I think is only on SoundCloud. But you take the journey and I promise it'll be worth it. So play DYS by Calvin Brooks, into Camp Adventure by Delta Sleep, into the song that precedes that, which is, what is it called? I always listen to it. I hate when this happens. Dustbusters. So, those 3 songs, like, back to back on the playlist, by Delta Sleep as well.
Oh.
Yeah. Back to back, they're just like a glorious experience to have.
Awesome. Well, thank you for, taking the time to talk to us. You guys are awesome. We truly, truly enjoy your guys' music. Where can people find you on social media?
I'm at SSJ Macklin, MACKLYN. You can find him at sadboy dot underscore dot Sam. You can follow our band at Swim Gustavo, SWIM Gustavo.
You can find other parts and traces of my identity at Keanu DiCaprio. And
Nice.
for things like us and more, Thunder Tribe Music.
100%. I want to kick myself because we didn't really talk about Keanu DiCaprio, but Keanu DiCaprio is
Or
totally
Thunder
dope.
Tribe.
Oh, it's all right. We'll have a day for that.
Yeah, like I said, we're gonna do a Sad Boy Sam, Ghost Shaft, Keanu DiCaprio episode soon.
I miss Quentin so much. Shout out to Quentin. Quentin's the best.
Shout out to me, boy.
We love you, Go Chef. But like 100%, y'all are some of my best friends. I love y'all. Thank you so much for coming on here. We'll have to play some video games. And I need to talk to y'all about that ending on Final Fantasy VII, 100%.
Yeah,
Or
dude,
do we
FaceTime
gotta
us
talk
as soon
about
as
that?
We got some words to have, but I want to just thank everybody today for coming and listening to the Demo Team podcast. We got a little more coming. We got to talk about what we've been listening to lately. Do you guys have anything else to say before we depart?
Thank you for being and existing, you beautiful people. I am so grateful to wake up to, every single one of you. And if I don't see you, it doesn't mean like, hey, I don't give a fuck. I just don't know you. But I love you all. Yeah.
Wow, that was probably the best sign off that any band's had in an interview.
Oh,
But hey, this is a great interview. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for
having
having
us.
us.
Jack Nicholson also says goodbye.
Goodbye, Jack Nicholson.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Nice to meet y'all. Peace out.
You guys have a good one.
Deuces.
What an informative interview we just had with Swim Gustavo. Next, we're
Wow,
gonna
we learned so much about
That was
them.
so much fun. They're really
Crazy.
funny and cool and stuff.
Shout out to Swim Gustavo.
Yeah, man.
They're dope.
If I
Super
remembered
special
their
thanks.
socials, I'd plug them right now, but I do not remember them.
They're
Sad
like Swim
Boy
Gustavo.
_Sam and Super Saiyan Macklin, SSJ Macklin.
Well, good thing we have Ryan here for now.
Yeah, what's up? So we're gonna be talking about what we've been listening to, right, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
We're gonna keep those masses informed on what we listen to on a daily basis throughout this week. And I'm gonna go first because I gotta make a mad dash back into band practice because we're recording next month at the end of July. But I just had to jump on with my boys and I had to tell them real quick that what I've been listening to. And I have made the awesome discovery of like this website that totally uses Mediafire, and I just love that siren right now. It's just the greatest siren ever. Thank you, Orange
That's
County.
a weird
Fire.
one.
That
That's
was
a really
me.
weird one. Wait.
Anywho, what I've been listening to lately, I checked out this website that just has all these like really hard to find stuff. It's just kind of like a little Mediafire hookup. But I've been checking out Elysia's first album. I don't know if anyone is familiar with those grindcore days, but I just need a little swine, incinerate, and filthy sometimes. I happened upon the Bled's very first demo, and I know we love referencing the Bled on here. I just love that. I love that fire engine driving right by right now. Love it. Anywho,
We can't even hear it.
I can.
Oh, now I can hear a little bit, but keep
It's
going.
great stuff. That's how fire these tracks are that I'm listening. Anywho, I've listened to their first demo. It's amazing. It's got like Glitter Bomb, Her First Crush, all these just like Anvil Pinata, which is on Past the Flask, but hearing like a raw like cover of it, just like, and it's like most untapped form is just awesome. I really enjoy it. I've also been listening to Aaron Rothy a little bit. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Aaron Rothy, but he used to play the keyboard in Drop Dead Gorgeous, and he had like a little solo project back in the MySpace days, and he had songs like So Hard to Leave and What Beautiful Is, and those songs, while not like the most top-notch quality for you expect from artists nowadays, but for the time there was a lot of charm and spirit on them. And I've been listening to Dead to Fall. They have this really good song called Chum Fiesta that I've just been digging on. I just like the punk vibes and the up-tempo beats on it.
What was that one song that they had, like A Bastard Set of Dreams? That song was hard, dude. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but that was from like their like early shit.
Is that stupid? Is that the same one that has Stupid on it?
Probably.
Major Rager. I love Dead to Fall. They had like a really tongue-in-cheek kind of like jokey style, but they like went hard as fuck, and I really enjoyed them. I was listening to Contortionists really early day stuff before they got all like super proggy, and just hearing them like borderline just like crunch it up on tracks is just really awesome. But I mean, that's just me. I mean, one thing I've been listening to on repeat, like those are just little tracks here and there, but My Hidden Track is this old school band that used to be around back in the day, and they just really great album I've been checking out. I'm actually really surprised it's even on like streaming. I mean, I've got it on YouTube. But other than that, I've been listening to Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which is also a great band. But I mean, that's it. I usually don't go this long on music recommendations, but I've been real busy this week. I'm trying to get as much influences and inspirations as I can, because my band Stay Still is going into the studio, which I should probably go run back to band practice here any minute now. But I'll pass it off to who's next. Who wants to go next?
I'll go next, man.
All right.
Take care, bro.
We'll see you, Ryan. It's great having you back on. Take whatever time you need.
I totally hit up Being Still, and I apologize profusely. I really wanted to be there for that. I really did, because those guys are really cool. I'm friends with them on Facebook and stuff, and I really enjoy their music, and I really enjoy like their inspirations and shit. I was listening to that podcast. I haven't heard the whole thing yet, but I'm gonna go back and listen to that.
Well, you can catch them on the next time we interview them. So
that's exactly what I said to him. I said I'd be there with bells on. But
all right, see you, man.
Okay, take care, guys.
All right. So Moses.
Yeah, dude. So this New Music Friday from this last week has been pretty eventful. There's a lot of new stuff dropped. So first of all, Properties of Nature dropped their debut album last week. It's dope. They're actually going to be on the podcast in a couple weeks, I believe. So I'm looking forward with chatting with those guys. But yeah, if you're looking for new like swancore style music, definitely check them out. They got a couple of bangers. I think a couple weeks ago we put up one of their songs on the playlist that featured Isaac from Dwelling. So yeah, check them out.
Ooh.
Yeah, kind of in the same vein. Raikou is a solo instrumental artist that released a new album named Awakening on Spirit Vision Records. That's Ben Rosette's label. It's basically like a lot of tasty riffs over 808, so kind of that like Rose type of deal, but different at the same time. 30 Nights of Violence is this band that dropped like a new EP. If you're into heavier stuff, check them out. Kind of like, I don't know, more older post-hardcore metalcore shit. Tiger's Jaw has a new song. J. Cole has a new song. Both are great. I really dig that J. Cole song. I mean, he's probably one of the best hip hop artists of our time. And
He doesn't read though.
he doesn't.
You didn't see that thing or whatever. Everyone was pissed off because he's like, I don't know. You just look it up.
All right.
It's a little too political to get into, I think, but
I'll have to check it out. I mean,
all right. Everyone was pissed off at him, like I guess a week ago, and like not quite to the point of canceling, but they were like annoyed with him because he made a kind of an ignorant tweet, I think. So.
Oh, okay. So it might be like the song might be a reference to that because.
All right.
It seems like it's kind of introspective, and he's talking about like some people being upset with him. Let's see. Mansions, they dropped a new album. It's really good, but if you listen to the band, you know that they like really have a kind of depressing sound. Like if you're into Manchester Orchestra, Kevin Devine, or the Bottoms, it's kind of like that style of music. So I don't know, it's good, but yeah, like definitely listen to it while you're doing something else if you don't want to get in your feelings. And then Cash and I earlier this week we're talking about Haim, I think is how you pronounce it.
I don't know.
I think it's Haim. I'm pretty sure that's what they said on like an interview or whatever. But yeah, they released a new album and it's definitely going to be one of my favorites to come out this year.
Really?
For sure. Just a lot of good vibes. I was really into them when they first came out and they had like maybe like only 3 singles, not even a full album. But then like, I don't know, I kind of didn't keep up with them. This album is great though, and because of it, I'll probably go back and listen to their earlier discography.
Yeah, Haim's great. It's an all-female act. They're all sisters. I haven't listened to the new album yet, but like I remember when they first came out. The first single they came out with, Forever, is like one of my favorite songs ever, and I totally forgot about it until Moses talked about, or I guess someone else talked about their new album, and then Moses listened to it, so I'm definitely gonna check it out. Definitely recommend listening to them. They're pretty chill and cool. So
yeah, and like I would say the new album's pretty on par with those like earlier singles, like Forever, Falling,
The Wire.
Me. Yeah, I think The Wire was like the first song that I kind of didn't vibe with, but
yeah,
it was still
stay with me.
Know, but yeah, definitely check it out. What else do I have? That new Louis the Child album dropped, and it's pretty upbeat summer vibe, like all over that album. Definitely worth a listen. So before Linkin Park came out, Chester Bennington was in a band called Grey Days. I'm not a big, Linkin Park fan. Like, they're great and stuff. Look, they're
blasphemy.
No, they're great, but I'm not like on their, like, I'm not like super on their jock or whatever. But anyway,
yeah. That's fair.
So Chester had this band called Grey Days, and like last Friday they released like their album with Chester. Apparently, like it never came out or something, and I think back in 2017 they were working on finishing it up, but it got like shelved or whatever. But the band was able to finish it. They got permission from Chester's estate or whatever. So I guess it's definitely worth checking out. Like,
you can keep going, but I was just gonna ask, like, what year were they making this music? Like,
yeah,
when,
so
like, it was from before Linkin
Early
Park, right?
stuff.
yeah, like 90, like
Yeah.
97. So, and
All
it's
right.
very dated. Like
For sure.
like most of the songs sounds like that kind of like post grunge alternative rock that was happening like around the same time that new metal
Like
was coming out.
Smashing Pumpkins and stuff, or
No, not so much Smashing Pumpkins, but maybe I don't know because I don't really know this music very well, but maybe like Godsmack.
oh,
Or
okay, all right, interesting.
but because the songs got shelved and they finished them like recently or in 2017, you kind of get both of those feels like it sounds like something from back then, but a lot of the production and like extra instrumental and keys and stuff sound like something that would be in like a rock song from like the last couple of years. So that it actually kind of makes it interesting, but I think Chester's vocals are still like all the original vocals from back then, so it's not as polished as what he sounds like on Linkin Park.
All right.
Oh yeah.
Do you think
That's early stuff, man.
Do you think his vocals improved like between his early stuff and like Linkin Park?
100%. And
All
if
right.
you listen to it, you'll be able to tell. And like I said, it'll sound like I don't know. The only name that comes to me is like Godsmack,
That's
which I
interesting.
don't even know their songs, but like I don't know. I'm sure they kind of
Like
got that vibe.
like Trapped.
Yeah,
or like
but
Saliva or something like that.
Like Trapped, like if Trapped was to come out like a couple years prior.
Oh yeah.
So Trapped's like style was already kind of like updated, but it's
yeah, that's
definitely
true.
it's definitely that kind of realm of music. So other than that, G-Eazy put out like a new album, and it's supposed to be like I feel like every white rapper like goes through like I'm gonna release my emo like album type of thing.
Only recently.
Yeah.
Which I skimmed through it, and I didn't really vibe with it, but there was one song that I really liked. So I'm probably just gonna throw it on the playlist because I thought it was good, and there's like some pretty cool samples all over the album. Like I know he sampled the Carly Simon song, and I think Smashing Pumpkins as well. I don't know, so it's worth listening to, I guess. But to me,
Can't believe we're gonna put him on our playlist.
dude. Jeezy's from Oakland, so I gotta represent.
For the longest time, I thought he was from Philadelphia for some reason. I don't know why.
All right, so this last week, I stumbled across this band named Krungbin, which means airplanes in Thai. I don't know why I wrote that down, but anyways, they're super cool. They're a trio from Texas, and they blend like so many different genres into their music. Like they get a little, I don't know, they mix a little like neo soul and dub and disco. They have this very chill, funky, like psychedelic vibe. Like it kind of reminds me of music that you might hear like in the background of a Tarantino film. They're really cool and very interesting. So I kind of dove into them this last week. Then on the EDM side of things, Bass Nectar released a new album, and so did Metric with a K, not to be confused with the Canadian indie band. Both are pretty good. Kind of that like fast-paced dubstep type of deal. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Ooh.
What do you
Sounds
guys
dancy.
You go, Dave.
You want to shoot? All right, I'll take that. So honestly, I've been like listening back to a little bit of Flyleaf. Like Just
All right.
kind of a throwback. Like this is one of the first like rock bands I got into, like the more edgy like bands akin to like 3 Days Grace, Linkin Park, like that.
That's the same with me, man, honestly.
Hey,
that stuff.
It was like what'd you say, Moses?
I said I skipped all that stuff. Like I was already.
That was like when you stop listening to your parents' music and you're like in middle school and you start listening to your own music. That's like what it was, I think, for us. So that makes sense that you would skip it because you had already gone through that.
Yeah, because for me, I guess it was like Korn and Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. A bit earlier, yeah.
Yeah, for us it's like 3 Days Grace, Seether, Flyleaf, and
I think Paramore is kind of in there too.
No way, Paramore was a legit band, not like
30 Seconds to Mars.
A legit band. Love it.
Right, but Flyleaf.
No shit at all. But yeah, for Flyleaf, like the song Cassie is always like struck out to me. It starts out super heavy, and then the topics,
really
talking
bassy.
about
It's really bassy, yeah.
Oh, bassy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, they start out with this heavy guitar intro, and then the bass carries that same riff, and that's a song where I was like, okay, I got to sound this out. Let me sound out the guitar, and I've always really liked this track because of the lyrics and talking about essentially dark stuff where school shooters would shoot up because of religious beliefs, stuff like that. And it, even the hook kind of shows that off, and it's like, do you believe in God written on the bullet? And apparently like the shooters were, killing people because, they didn't agree with Christianity, that type deal. But yeah, really hard hitting stuff, and the song just goes along with it. So it's always stuck out to me.
That sounds pretty crazy.
Yeah, Flyleaf, I love them.
They're
for sure.
Actually a Christian band too, so that's interesting.
Yeah. Yep.
Yes,
I never really thought about the lyrics too much. I always thought it was like a suicide or something. So I didn't.
No. Yeah, no, it's funny because I'm not the most religious person myself, but like Flyleaf has always just been up. I've always just see that I just enjoy music that much. So even if they are a Christian band, I just vibe with their stuff. And
well, I mean, it's just good music.
Oh yeah, exactly. That don't matter. Yeah, but shoot, moving on. What is it? I know you mentioned Isaac from Dwellings. Shoot, especially with the new stuff he's featuring on, I had to go back and check out that LP. And I gotta say, like my top threes on that track gotta be like See It Through, Ordinary Destruction, Snake Charmer. Shoot, actually, they're all in a row on that album. And honorary mentions is Foreverist. Just good track. If you haven't, check out A Lavender Town. Good stuff. Good
great album.
For sure, yeah, I love it.
Have you heard Pick Up Before You Go? Because to me that's like my favorite Dwelling song. Like I think I like it a lot better than like all of Lavender Town, which is great.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
so the new song.
That vibe, man. He does that like R&B-ish vibe so well.
Yeah, it's been a minute. Honestly, yeah, I'm a little on the opposite. So apparently, like their lead guitarist kind of left after Lavender Town, and it seems or I'm not sure if it was before the single or after. But like if it's before the single, I could tell it's a bit. I do like the single. I had to give it another listen to really dwell on it. But like, nah, I couldn't agree on that sentiment. But yeah, it's good stuff either way. Yeah.
Yeah.
But shoot, yeah, I have to check that out. Yeah, check out Lavender Town, Dwellings in general. Get these guys big, as well. Sufferer, another like. I really like this band and what they stand for. It's a really heavy Swan core. It's a super group actually. Shoot, you got people from Hail the Sun. What is it? A Lot Like Birds.
Yep.
Shoot, even the drummer for I the Mighty's in there. Oh my goodness, a lot of good stuff. And if you listen to them, they're more rooted in expressing depression and mental issues like anxiety, all that good stuff. So shoot, having a hard time. Yeah, check out this heavy banger of an album. And then to contrast that, I threw it back and put on some Katy Perry. What is it? Teenage Dream, like it's Katy Perry's 2010 album. Like, so see, this is an example of my taste before I got into Flyleaf, 3 Days Grace, and all that. Like, so like instead of it being
Katy Perry's great, man.
No, yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Like, I went back and listened to this, and I'm like,
hey, David. So I personally don't like Katy Perry. So and like I've never really gotten into her music. So do you have any non-single
any non-what?
Non-single recommendations? Because like I've hated all of her singles, and I'm wondering if like maybe there's anything in there that I don't know I might enjoy.
Moses, I'm surprised you didn't see her at Warped Tour.
Dude, I was at that Warped Tour and I refused.
It's like, no, I'm putting in my earplugs, the extra good ones. But no, so like you don't like any of the singles, like Teenage Dream, Last Friday Night, California Girls Firework, E.T. Oh.
The only one that's okay is the one with Juicy J on it, but he's the only reason why it's good.
That's funny.
Dark Horse, and I actually I enjoy some pop. Like I have no problem with like pop music, but I don't know. I feel like Taylor Swift's like a better artist, and I'm probably like I don't know crucifying myself saying that. But like,
yes,
actually, I'm okay with saying that because I know who writes her music, and she's like a talented musician. So I mean, not writes her music, but like who is a main producer collaborator. This guy Jack Antonoff, who was in a band called Steel Train. People might know him from a band named Fun. He was the guitar player.
Oh, I remember now. Yeah, I didn't think about that one for a while.
But yeah, like I got to I knew of that guy back when he was in this really small band called Steel Train, and to watch him become this amazing producer who is like basically the main person that Taylor Swift, who you can argue is like the biggest artist out right now, like she
definitely huge
with him. Like they locked themselves in the studio and bang songs out. I don't know. That's pretty impressive to me. Like,
wait, Moses.
Yeah.
Do you like the "Woe Is Me" covers of Taylor Swift Katy Perry songs?
What songs did they? I don't even remember if I
Woe Is
listened
Me.
to. Yeah, I mean, like I feel like a lot of people were throwing out a bunch of covers around that time, and most of them were garbage.
So, if anything, what do you think of
they were fun, but they weren't that great.
Like the Taylor Swift Blank Space cover?
Wait, who did
the metalcore or whatever?
Who did it?
See, I gotta like
I don't remember that
now because the ones that really stand out to me were the Devil Wears Prada doing, but it was like a rap cover. They did
that was a really good one.
Scaring Kids did like the Notorious B.I.G. and Bone Thugs cover.
Oh, you're doing the Punk Goes Crunk one.
Yeah, which I guess that one was better than the Punk Goes Pop that came after it. But State Champs did a great cover of Zed and Haley Williams' song "In the Night." It was really good. But yeah, I felt like most of the covers in the Punk Goes Pop, from that era were borderline cringy.
Pretty good.
I wouldn't blame you for completely, but yeah, I think
I'd say a third of them were pretty solid, and the rest are just forget about them.
Sure, yeah, I can
maybe even less than a third, a quarter.
It was I Prevail that covered Blank Space. That's what I put that.
Yeah, down. I never. Yeah.
Oh, I hate that band. Then
I have a funny story about them from yesterday. I was watching Metalocalypse with my dad because he was like, "Let's watch." There's this movie called Heavy Metal. And it's like a cartoon, like heavy, like just some movie with like cartoon movie like about like classic rock or whatever. And he's like, "Yeah, that on." And it's like, "No, but we can watch Metalocalypse." And so we watched that, and then the next day, we go to Sam's or Walmart, if you're not, which same thing, whatever. And we're just listening to like the normal like alt rock like metal radio, like FM radio, and I Prevail comes on, and he goes, "Oh, is this Metalocalypse or whatever?"
Gosh,
man,
that's funny.
Clock is way better than I Prevail, though.
I totally agree.
Who? Sorry.
Death Clock.
Clock is a band from Metalocalypse. Have you ever watched that?
You should watch it. It's hilarious.
Yeah, I've skimmed it a bit. Yeah. Well, but yeah, man, shoot the name and everything. Yeah, it's something I got to check out. Like, give it a full chance. Yeah, I'll give that a shot.
Oh, we're gonna have to put Death Clock on the playlist this week, right?
That song "Go Forth and Die" was my favorite.
What?
They had a song called "Go Forth and Die." That was like my favorite song by them.
That's life, jeez. But no, yeah, and the last thing, like, it's yeah, you're right. Taylor Swift's definitely huge because that song has 2.6 billion views, like
Which
a third
one?
of the population.
Oh, Blank Space.
Yes, sir. Blank Space has been listened to by like a third of the population.
Well, I mean, worldwide.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what I mean. It's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny you say that. What is it? You said Taylor Swift over Katy Perry, because no, I'm definitely way more critical of Taylor Swift personally. But yeah, it's whatever. She's doing well on her own.
Say they're like the same to me. Not like really the same, but like they're like
all these
same
pop
level.
Stars are the same,
I feel like
same level for me.
I don't know.
Katy Perry's falling off.
Better quality than Katy Perry.
Taylor Swift.
Yeah, like there's somewhat more substance there, but
I mean, Katy Perry's just having fun though.
Yeah, I don't know much about Katy Perry.
That's fair, man. Yeah, some you get into, some you don't. And shoot up, and yeah, so and ended off. I listened to Attila's "Cancelled." Yeah, it was just in a random playlist, and I was like,
far from.
Oh my!
Are we gonna have to put it? No, I refuse to put it on the playlist.
Yeah, we're not putting Attila on the playlist. In fact, I don't think we should really talk about Attila that much right now.
No, if you want to talk about it, David, go, because people should be.
Are they controversial?
Yeah, they're getting canceled as we speak.
Oh, I did see that. Yeah, we don't have to go into that. I know, like, they're not exactly the most popular, at least in general. Like, there's a scene of people that would be like, "LOL, Attila, trash."
Yeah.
I
don't know. I mean, like, I guess it's funny, but it's not really. I don't know.
Yeah, I've just never been into like bands that are edgy for the sake of being edgy, or whatever. Like I've never liked Attila, Escape the Fate, or any.
Dude, that old school Escape the Fate. The first album was great.
I don't know. They always seem kind of whack to me. Like,
I mean, I understand that.
Of like hair metal, basically.
I mean, I get that, but it was like such a fun album. What is it? What is it called? Not Friends and Alibi.
Fashion.
Yeah, Dinosaur latest fashion
or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I've never even listened to them. Like, I listened to like the first couple of seconds where he sings Situations, and then I was like, all right, that's all I need to know.
Isn't Ungrateful from that album? Sorry.
I don't know. I don't think so. I'm looking it up right now. Oh, There's No Sympathy for the Dead. That and Guillotine are like my favorites from that album.
And if I were to listen to it and like not knew who they were, I would probably find something enjoyable, from their music. And I'm sure they weren't horrible, but yeah, I don't know. They've just never been my thing, so I kind of refuse to like even listen to them.
Is
Yeah,
it
I
because
haven't
of
really
Ronnie
given a full.
Radke?
Yeah, is that how you pronounce it?
Ronnie Radke, yeah.
Good. I just never know. I thought it was Ronnie Rag
Did
or something.
you say you've never listened to them, David?
No, I have. It's just like certain singles. Like my first was "Ungrateful," and like that one, that one got me hooked, and was always like, okay, "Escape the Fate." This song, that was for me. So I don't know, Moses. You get to try that one, if you're willing.
I mean, I think
Maybe.
Dinah's Latest Fashion is probably the one to listen to. And then otherwise, their new singer, I didn't really like their stuff with, or whoever replaced. I don't remember his name, but I haven't been that into anything after that.
I remember going to a Warped Tour and seeing them from afar, and this was like when they first started out, and I thought it was From First to Last. So I'd beeline to the stage, and I'm like, man, I've never heard this From First to Last song before. And I'm like, no,
new song, right?
Huh? Yeah, I was like,
That was just their new stuff,
That's definitely not that. They just kind of have similar haircuts.
I actually saw Fallen in Reverse at Warped Tour because my friends wanted to see them, and they were actually pretty they were pretty crisp sounding, like they sounded good musically, but like their music wasn't that great. But one thing, there's two things notable about it. It was like, one, Ronnie Radke had his dad crowd surf, and then two, he got a kid in a wheelchair to get to crowd surf too. But they crowd surfed him in the wheelchair. They didn't take him out the wheelchair. So
that's wholesome, man. That's fun.
Yeah.
Good stuff, man.
Waiting to happen.
Yeah, it's like dangerous, but like wholesome.
And then after that, they banned moshing from Warped Tour.
Yeah.
But on Falling in Reverse, like I don't know, like his voice has always like turned me off a bit. I just want to say, like, I've listened to plenty of songs, like randomly, like friends would show me, but I don't know, his voice has always been iffy. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I thought it sounded good on Escape the Fate, but I don't really like Falling in Reverse like at all, so.
Yeah, they're not for me. But anyway, yeah, that's just some of my picks. How about you, Cash?
All right. I listened to Lil Census Fail start off the week, and then went on to Movements because I guess it clicked that it was summer, and then first thing that comes to my mind is Pink Cloud Summer, so you gotta listen to Movements. Then I listened to Fall Out Boy, but just the deep cuts, nothing mainstream.
What's the favorite deep?
Good boy.
That's a tough one. I really like Ginaps.
Great. That's a great song.
That's a good one.
You know what it stands for?
Yeah, gay is not a synonym for shitty.
Yeah, something like that.
See, yeah, like if anything, you should feed me these because Fall Out Boy, like I've heard like their newer singles, Remember Me, that whole thing.
Yeah, don't listen to that stuff.
It's catchy enough, but it's annoying to me. So I'm like, But then I'd hear their old stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is all right. Give me some more of that.
I'll give you what was the main song I was listening to? I don't know, but I'll find it in a sec. But there's a cover of Centuries, but it's done in the style of their first album, and so it's on SoundCloud. But you should definitely listen to that because that's a way better version of the song.
Yeah, who does the cover of it?
I don't remember who does the cover of it, but they do. I think they mainly just cover songs. So, and they cover it in a way. The way they cover the songs is they cover like kind of like early emo pop punk stuff, and they cover like their newer stuff in the style of their older stuff.
That's pretty cool. But yeah, David, you should definitely check out Fall Out Boy's Take This to Your Grave.
Yeah.
The Portree and Infinity on I.
The main song I was listening to was Nobody Puts Baby in the Corner. by
That
Fall
was
Out Boy.
great song.
Yeah,
Like,
which is From Under the Cork Tree.
yeah, I love that bridge.
Yeah.
That name alone sounds interesting enough. So okay.
Oh my God, you don't even know the reference to that.
I do not.
I don't know
Sorry.
either, but people have been saying it.
It's a reference to a movie called Dirty Dancing. I've never even seen it, but I get the reference.
With
like
Patrick Swayze.
Yeah, it was like a huge film.
In the 80s, yeah.
Yeah.
Then I was listening to one of Moses' favorite, the Beach Boys.
Dude, I don't have a problem.
Hey.
I just don't listen.
Oh, really? See, now they're actually in my playlist, like the top 50,
really?
like compilation of their hits. You know?
Oh, I love the Beach Boys, man. They're great.
I wanted to say that my favorite deep cut from Fall Out Boy is "Hand of God," which is
Hand of God.
Yeah, a B-side from Under the Cork Tree. It's pretty good. It actually somebody leaked it before From Under the Cork Tree came out.
Is it like a bonus track or something?
They might have added it as a bonus track for like a Hot Topic release or something. But yeah, it's definitely a B-side.
Interesting. I don't see it on Spotify. I've never heard of it either.
Yeah, it's not. You're not gonna find it on Spotify. You can find it on YouTube though. But yeah, you definitely won't find it on Spotify.
One of those.
Yeah, one of those. That's surprising. Like, because I mean, like Fall Out Boy I feel like has a really deep catalog. Because like there's like they always do like bonus deluxe versions of their albums with like bonus songs and stuff, and they're always great. So
yeah. Like they even had
good
like
stuff.
what the hell was that? They had a EDM version of Grand Theft Autumn.
Yeah,
cool.
I've heard one of Thanks for the Memories too. They have plenty of remixes for sure. Anyways, keeping with the nautical theme, I also listened to Seaway this week, who I think is pretty. Oh, they're like decent, but like not for. Probably can't listen to like more than 5 songs just because
they got
kind
some
of
bangers. But
yeah.
Dang, what's that though?
They're kind of like a modern band doing like what bands are doing like the early 2000s, I guess, but like it's like not quite it's kind of like the mainstream version of pop punk, I guess.
Well, yeah, they first started out as like kind of like your pop punk revival band. They're from Canada. They had an album or a EP called Hosier, which was pretty good. They kind of went for like a 90s sound for
the
album Colorblind and Vacation, which is pretty good. I don't know, Colorblind has some good songs, but I don't know what songs were you listening to, Cash?
Let me see real quick. I mean, it was definitely some of the more recent stuff for sure.
Yeah, I don't know a lot of their recent stuff, but Slam off of Colorblind, that song was a banger.
It was like from their album Fresh Produce.
Oh yeah, that came out like last year. I stopped.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I was also listening to a little Funkadelic because people have been talking about him on Twitter.
Oh, that's a band instead of a genre?
Funkadelic.
Parliament Funkadelic, George Clinton, like all that stuff.
Yeah, we've talked about
them before.
On the podcast.
It's like psychedelic funk from like the 60s and 70s, mainly made by George Clinton, and then Snoop Dogg sampled all of it in the 90s.
Mothership, like the album title was taken from a album from Funkadelic called Mothership something.
Mm-hmm. And then I kind of came across Lauren Babbitt's like covers, and like I wasn't really that into them, but like they were kind of like she did such like the songs she chose were interesting enough where like I kept listening into it, but like they sounded pretty radio rock like, so I don't know. But yeah, I was listening to that for a while. I pretty much did like a whole jog listening to that. Body Thief. I listen to them. They're pretty good. Like a Swancore sound for sure.
Kurt Travis, fan
what?
of them.
Excuse
I said
me?
Kurt This is a big fan of them.
Yeah, I could definitely hear it for sure.
Interesting. Yeah, I've been hearing them mentioned here and there more and more.
Yeah, I feel like we mentioned them before, but I'm not totally sure.
Yeah, they've been on the playlist.
All right. And then Embracer, which everyone says is like, if you want to get your Johnny Craig fix, you listen to Embracer, but like it's not like Johnny Craig Dance Gavin Dance. It's more like Johnny Craig Slaves, but like a little better, but not that much. I don't know. They're all right.
Okay, that's optimistic.
I mean, like, I'd say like they're better than Slaves, but his voice isn't quite as good as Johnny Craig's.
I see the comparison. So,
see, my thing was with Slaves was like, okay, Johnny sounds great, but like I don't know, Slaves
the music,
just a little, yeah.
Or the band formerly known as Slaves. They're not Slaves anymore.
Slaves redacted.
Yeah.
I like listening to one song by Slaves, and that was all I needed to hear to know they were horrible.
I mean, like, I've definitely listened to a few, but it's just, I don't know. Nothing like there's nothing that really caught me that much besides like I think it's called The Promise or something, and it's like a sad slow song. But
so what made Johnny Craig like great and really stand out was his voice being backed by really fast-paced post-hardcore type music.
Yeah.
I don't know, when you get into like generic rock or like like that like R&B rock sound, it's just like it sounds like every other band.
Yeah, I agree. Though, like, I feel like he could probably be decent like as like in a pop R&B group, but like I don't think he could. You need more like.
It's not good.
Yeah, but I mean, like, he's got to be like all together though. Is the other thing. And I feel like he could pull it off, but like Slaves wasn't that. I don't think Slaves had enough talent or direction or inspiration to really like utilize him well.
His solo stuff.
Well, yeah, and he wasn't totally there for his solo stuff. I don't think either.
Yeah, I gave his solo stuff like a listen like once a few years ago, and I was like, okay. That's
the album that just came out.
Totally there for DBM2, and that was probably one of his best efforts.
Yeah.
Oh, you think?
And then finally, I went back to the Donnie Darko well and listened to some Joy Division last night because I think it's an anniversary of one of their albums, but I'm not sure. But yeah, that's it for me.
All right.
Nice choices, my guys.
I guess that's the podcast.
That's it. So we better close out. This was the Demo Team podcast. We just interviewed some Gustavo. My name is Cash Spicer. You can reach me at Cash Spicer on Twitter or the Cashleen Spicer on Instagram. You can reach us at Demo Team Podcast on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Gmail, YouTube. I don't know. Is there other stuff? I think we have a website too. What?
Christian Mingle.
Yeah, Christian Mingle for sure. See David on there. He'll send him. You can.
Oh, yeah.
You can Snapchat him too. David, take it away.
Oh yeah. Yes, sir. But mainly, you can find me on Facebook at David Pottinger, and I'm on Instagram as well, Pottinger.David. But yeah, hit me up, y'all. Hit my Christian Mingle, my Snapchat. It's lonely in quarantine, so yeah.
His OnlyFans.
No, I'm not I'm not a degenerate.
We have a group chat that we made for this, so if you want to join, hit us up on one of our socials, and we'll make it happen if you're worthy.
Yeah. Oh, fair warning. We talk about music and we critique it, so you're gonna somebody might not like a band that you don't like, and that's okay because we're allowed to agree and disagree, and not all music is for everybody. So don't get all butthurt about it.
Especially not new Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah, don't get all butthurt about it and then leave. Shout out that guy though.
Oh yeah, come on, guys. How come nobody name dropped the new Bring Me to the Horizon, my guys? Come on, the best single of the year. Single of the year, man.
I already talked about new Bring Me the Horizon once on here. I don't think we need to do it for another year. So.
Fair.
Also, unban David.
Free David.
Free David. And all right, finally, Moses, you go.
Find me on Instagram through Bing Mo. I think it's Shadow X Mo on Twitter. Skyhook on Nintendo Switch, I believe. I don't know.
Nice.
What's your aim?
Peace out.
My aim? It used to be Full Collapse 64 because Full Collapse was a great Thursday album. 64 because rappers used to rap a lot about 64 Impalas. So put my two loves together, and that's what I came up with.
All right. Pretty good. Anything else?
No. Follow Ryan.
Nothing for me.
Band everywhere. Stay / still.
Yeah.
Still.
Listen to them. Support them. Are we going back to Mothership next week, or are we interviewing again?
Let me check the calendar.
Making for some great audio right now.
I'm thinking it's
we're gonna be doing Mothership.
Mothership Part 2 next week.
Yes.
We're gonna be talking about Dance Gavin Dance again. All right. I think that's it, guys.
All right. Y'all have a good one.
You too, man. So long.
Yes, sir. Peace out.